Hey, what's up? Serpentine19 here, taking a look at the online racing game, The Crew, developed by Trinity Towers and currently in closed beta. The Crew takes the map of America as its race course and throws you into a drug-running gang. The Crew introduces you to the criminal racing circuit known as the 510s, a group of highly skilled drivers that excel at getting contraband over the southern border. The main story in the game is fairly cliche and has a similar gameplay storyline as Need for Speed's Most Wanted Blacklist system. You need to race your way up the rankings to finally race the guy that killed your brother and to get back to the dirty cops that framed you for it. That's the basis of the story, so how does it play? The car's driving mechanics are the usual: throttle, brake, reverse, handbrake and nitros. The car's actual handling, when using the right spec for the right surface, is very controllable without having spinouts or the back end of the car being thrown about without the help of some heavy hand braking, which I find a little bit unfortunate due to all the upgradable parts you can unlock for your vehicle that feel like they aren't really changing anything in relation to the handling. Damaging your car doesn't actually affect its performance, it's purely cosmetic, and the car does automatically repair itself over time. One thing that is slightly weird is the way your car can slide around some of the hitboxes of objects when hit on a certain angle. This is especially noticeable when driving amongst trees. Something I found slightly disappointing was the immediate start with a decent car. Your initial choice of either a Nissan 370Z, Chevrolet Camaro, Dodge Challenger or Ford Mustang are all fairly good cars. I would rather have had a low-end car to begin with. It would also help the feeling of progression in the game because at the moment the unlockable car parts are fairly uninteresting. Speaking of parts, you can unlock them by successfully completing any mission or challenge, and depending on how well you do in said mission or challenge, you either get a bronze, silver or gold part. Both the silver and gold parts give an extra bonus to a random stat, while all the different parts combine together to give your car an overall level used to access missions and online matchmaking. The missions and challenges are spread all across the map, with most missions being inside main cities and challenges being more common out on the highways and open roads. Missions consist of general races anywhere from 1v1s to a race of 8, destroy missions where you have to hit and destroy your target within a time limit, and finally time trials. Challenges consist mainly of driver skill tests with slalom, speed runs, pinpoint races and long jump challenges being available. The PvP in the Crew has you racing against up to 3 other players in circuit based races. The racetracks are a mixture of actual racetracks found around the United States and street races where you race amongst traffic. You gain points for finishing the race, with first place giving you 10 points, second place giving you 8 and so on. These points are tallied together to give you a placing on a worldwide leaderboard, as well as tallying together for your time spent in the lobby so you can have a continuous series. Unfortunately, police aren't involved in the races and you can't create your own tracks, yet. Being such a wide open map, I fully expect to see custom race courses to come in a later update, something similar to the custom race feature in GTA 5. There is a police presence in the game, but it's something I think needs some work. Getting into a police chase is actually quite hard if you're not actually trying to. It will either require you to crash into multiple cars one after the other to raise your destruction bar, or require you to actually hit a police car. Once the chase is initiated, there is a star system. It's pretty easy to shake off the 1 and 2 star chases, but starts to get tougher due to a helicopter at the 3 and 4 star mark. Roadblocks, aggressive driving, and faster cop cars are all lacking in some way, and might be a place of focus in the next few months before release. The graphics in game are obviously focused on your vehicle, and while it's not quite simulator quality models as seen in other games like Forza or Gran Turismo, the cars do still look nice. There is an outside view and cockpit view for your car, both of which look great, and both I found using much more than in other games due to the long highway drives available in the Crew. AI controlled cars and some of the buildings take a slight downgrade, with the cars having much less geometry than yours, and buildings in the cities, relying on textures to give them detail, but it's totally understandable with such a large game. The sound in game is what you would expect from a AAA title. The car sounds are great, and there is licensed music available via your car radio, which includes multiple stations to choose from. Some of the voice acting though, in the cutscenes sounds too good for some situations. For instance, when two people are talking to each other in their cars, you can tell by the sound that they were obviously standing in a recording booth. A little bit more audio editing wouldn't go unnoticed. The features in the crew are numerous, so let's start off with your own personal hub. Available in your hub is access to your garage of cars, FBI perks that work kind of like an RPG talent tree, a progress map to view missions and side objective completion, and finally your kit car progress, which are basically hot rods that you collect parts around the map for. Customization options for your car are average compared to other titles. Color, vinyls, body kits, and interior options are available, with the car's exterior and interior color options being the more fleshed out. While there is a good selection of vinyls, they are all locked to a certain part of the car. Body kits are extremely limited, with most variations looking rather similar. If you like adventuring and discovering things in game, then you'll have a great time finding satellite dishes that when found reveal a wide area of the map. Discovering parts for your kit car is also an interesting side objective, but they aren't quite as easy to find as the satellites are. The Crew is an online only game and will require that you check in with the Ubisoft servers every few minutes. A bad connection can lead to all sorts of strange bugs happening, including other players disappearing and reappearing randomly, which can be really weird when they are in a police chase, as the police will also disappear and reappear with them. Another bug involved all the AI controlled cars freezing in place and required me to relog. And now the hot topic of frames per second. While the game was locked to 30, players with the know-how could unlock this to 60 if they wanted to, and honestly from my experience unlocking, why wasn't this unlocked by default? The 60 frames per second experience was so much better and it appeared to work just fine. At 30, the game feels like it's lagging whenever you turn, and if you take a corner too quickly it gets real bad. Thankfully, they plan on releasing the game with a 30 and 60 frames per second option. The Crew provides an interesting story set in a massive world that will have lovers of sandbox games rejoicing. However, The Crew is not a game for racing enthusiasts, nor for players that want a large multiplayer racing experience, due to the 4-player max races. This is very much an exploration game that is meant to be enjoyed with multiple people in your crew. Things I hope to see in The Crew are larger multiplayer races, a custom race builder, better customization for vehicles, a better police system, and random race encounters, like those in the Need for Speed series would be fantastic. Even better if you could do it with other players. That's been my player preview of The Crew's closed beta. The game will be releasing on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 on the 11th of November. Check out the links below for more information, and I'll see you guys next time.